Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to How Creatives Can Use the Maryland Small Business Development Center. This is a session hosted by the Maryland State Arts Council, where I work. My name is Chad Buderbaugh. I'm the Deputy Director there. And our special guest this afternoon is Diane McFarland, who is the Training Manager with the SBDC. I'll start us off with a couple of opening slides and then turn it over to Diane for her presentation. So we are on Google Meet today. The tools of Google Meet are laid out here. You can toggle your audio or video on or off using the microphone and camera icons. Please remain on mute unless you're speaking. That really helps with audio quality. Note too that you can type questions or comments into a chat feature. It's there with the little voice bubble icon toward the bottom right of your screen. And in accordance with State of Maryland policy on generative AI, please do not use any AI note takers in this session. If we notice that any are here, we will remove them from the meeting, but you yourself will, of course, be able to stay in and continue with the session. Grounding slides begin with an Indigenous Land Acknowledgement Statement, which is based on consultation with tribal leaders around the state of Maryland. MSAC produced this project a few years ago. We acknowledge the lands and waters now known as Maryland are the home of its first peoples, the Akahannock Indian Tribe, Assateague Peoples Tribe, Cedarville Band of Piscataway Indians, Chopticot Band of Indians, Lenape Tribe, Nanticoke Tribe, Nasuwawash Band of Indians, Piscataway Conoy Tribe, Piscataway Indian Nation, Pocomoke Indian Nation, Susquehannock Indians, Youghiogheny River Band of Shawnee, and tribes in the Chesapeake watershed who have seemingly vanished since the coming of colonialism. We acknowledge that this land is now home to other tribal peoples living here in diaspora. We acknowledge the forced removal of many from the lands and waters that nurtured them as kin. We acknowledge the degradation that continues to be wrought on the land and waters in pursuit of resources. We acknowledge the right of the land and waterways to heal so that they can continue to provide food and medicine for all. We acknowledge that it is our collective obligation to pursue policies and practices that respect the land and waters so that our reciprocal relationship with them can be fully restored. MSAC's Equity and Justice Statement. The arts celebrate our state's diversity, connect our shared humanity, and transform individuals and communities. MSAC is committed to advancing and modeling equity, diversity, accessibility, and inclusion in all aspects of our organization and across communities of our state. MSAC and its grantees are committed to embracing equity and non-discrimination, regardless of race, religious creed, color, age, gender expression, sexual orientation, disability, class, language, and/or ability. MSAC's vision is to play an essential role ensuring every person has access to the transformative power of the arts, and its mission is to advance the arts in our state by providing leadership that champions creative expression, diverse programming, equitable access, lifelong learning, and the arts as a celebrated contributor to the quality of life for all the people of Maryland. In 2024, MSAC adopted a strategic plan consisting of 5 pillars and associated goals. Those are access, bolster access to arts experiences and resources; awareness, amplify the stories of Maryland's arts sector and the value of public support; connection, foster networks within and beyond the arts sector; equity, cultivate a thriving arts ecosystem centered in equity; and leadership, commit to a culture of care and innovation. In meeting today, we ask all participants to observe these creative meeting actions, to celebrate being in the space with other creative people, engage with everyone's presence as a gift, acknowledge that together we know a lot, enter the conversation with curiosity and inquiry, share your idea and trust that it will be heard, use I statements, focus your language on the task at hand, hold one another accountable with care, honor all perspectives and build on shared ideas, and balance speaking with listening. What we're doing today is part of an ongoing series of professional development offerings, mostly virtual, some in person. MSAC hosts info sessions about how to apply for our grants, topic-specific sessions of interest to the arts sector, like this one, informal meet and greets that we call Coffee with the Council, in-person office hours where we come to your community to answer questions, meet people, hear about your experience in the arts, and an annual in-person convening of the Maryland Arts Sector called the Arts Summit that is produced by our collaborators at Maryland Citizens for the Arts. If you have an idea for professional development, you can share it with us using the first link here at the bottom. If you want to see what's coming up in the next few weeks, you can go to our Eventbrite. That's where you registered for this session. And also, when we're working with outside agencies and organizations, their offerings in session do not represent necessarily the opinions of the state of Maryland. If you want to read that full disclaimer, it is on our website at the last link here. Lots of different ways to get involved with the MSAC. One of the main ways is that we rely on the public to help us give input as panelists and editors, judges, jurors. We really look to you to help us review grant applications, amend and improve our policies and procedures, help us curate shows when we happen to be hosting an art show, and judge performances in the Poetry Out Loud program. The list goes on. Whenever we are looking for public input in that way, we release a public call with details at the link you see here. And those that are interested in applying can do so in Smart Simple. If you're selected, you receive training and support from our staff and also compensation for your service. So I would recommend anyone who's interested to check that out. I am happy now to turn things over to Diane McFarland with the Small Business Development Center, and I am momentarily going to share a presentation that we will use to guide us through today's material. So Dan, I would say you can go ahead and get started while I pull this presentation up.
Well, thank you, Chad, and thank you so much for having me here today. I'm Diane McFarland with the Maryland Small Business Development Center, the SBDC, and I'm excited to share with you today how we can help creative entrepreneurs grow and thrive in your community. I know Chad was very helpful in me sending him the presentation to share today. There we go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I see no printing or no pictures.
Yeah, we're having a rendering problem, but all of the text is still there. So hopefully we'll just be able to move forward along these lines. I was unfortunately not able to troubleshoot quickly.
Oh, goodness. Well, I do apologize for that, but when I'll be following up with you and I'll be sending you the presentation. So it will have at least some graphics on here for you to see. And you'll get all this information and you'll also have it to replay in the recording as well. But again, thank you for being here. I certainly appreciate it. And I appreciate this opportunity to speak to all of you today. The purpose of our presentation today is to explore how the SBDC supports Maryland's creative economy, from those of you who are on here who are artists and designers to performers and nonprofit leaders. I'd like you to, as we go through here, to be thinking about how we can assist you as I explain some of the what we'll be doing today, and as I explain some of the resources that we have and so on. So today I'm hoping that you'll learn about our SBDC resources, some of our success stories, and I'm thinking one of you might even be on this call today, and how to take advantage of our no-cost consulting and training. And I'll be mentioning that to you several times throughout the presentation. But again, it's no-cost training and no-cost consulting. So we want you to take advantage of us. Before we dive in, let's start with who we are and what we do at the SBDC. So this, as you can see on this slide, we were established in 1988 through the U.S. Small Business Administration, the SBA. And if you think of the SBA as an umbrella, we're one of the entities underneath that umbrella. Another entity might be SCORE, and they're the retired business executives who have come back out of retirement to work with individuals and provide them with mentoring experience there and from their experience. The Women's Business Center can also be under that umbrella. So the SBDC is just one of the entities within the SBA. SBDCs operate in all 50 of our states and our territories. And as you can see on that second bullet, we're out of the country as well. And there are more and more countries that we're opening offices in as we speak. But we do have representative in all of Maryland's 23 counties, including Baltimore City. And again, I'd like to underline or underscore that our mission is to facilitate economic impact, as you can see on that final bullet there, and help small businesses not only survive, but thrive. We are a trusted statewide network within the university system of Maryland. And that gives us a bit of credibility, because all of our regions throughout the state, and there are 6 regions, that we're all at host universities. And each of those host universities, there's Frostburg State University, College of Southern Maryland, Carroll Community College, the Salisbury University. And they're all part of the university system, but each of the regions has their own host. So it's a trusted statewide network within the University of Maryland. But let me tell you what SBA's definition of small businesses include. Up to 500 employees. Now that's pretty big business to me, but up to 500 employees, you're still considered small business. And under 7.5 million annual revenue to non-manufacturing businesses. So they're pretty large businesses, but that's still on what is defined as SBA's small business. So I'm guessing some of you are pretty familiar with the SBDC, but I bet there are some of you still that this is your first time hearing about us. So there's a whole lot more that I can tell you. I don't think I have time in this 1 hour to do so, but we'll show you before we conclude today how you can get to our website, and you can go from there. And I'll be sharing some other things with you. But okay, this next slide, I'd like to acknowledge that creative professionals are business owners too. And I know some of you feel like you're not a business owner, but you most absolutely definitely are. And we, the SBDC, know that you face unique business challenges, and that is exactly where the SBDC can help you. Our SBDC offers targeted support for creative entrepreneurs and organizations. And the examples of some of the success stories that we've talked about include artists. We have worked with and currently are working with performers, designers, cultural organizations, and the creative nonprofits. So I'd like to emphasize that we are accessible to you. And we're in every county. As I said, we have a consultant that serves every county, and we do provide that no-cost, one-on-one, confidential consulting and the specialized resources for the arts. And this is where we would help you with doing some assessments to help you determine that you're both creative and the entrepreneurial mindset. So the next slide, please. I'd like to briefly walk through some of the things too that we'll be covering. It's an overview of the SBDC and our mission, some services that are tailored specifically for you, the creative environment, some real world examples, success stories, and I'll be mentioning Live Plan to you. So keep that in the back of your mind if you don't know what Live Plan is, and what it is a resource tool to help you write your business plan, and how to connect with us and take next steps. So some of the businesses that we help, next slide, please, slide 5. The examples from the arts, as you can see listed here. Some of the success stories that I'll share, as much as I can share with you today, we have a painter who is launching an online store. And this painter did residence. He was a residential painter, and he is now launching his online store. A theater company who's improving its budgeting. So we're working with that individual. A jewelry designer who's moving into wholesale. And this jewelry designer, what she's doing right now is she's creating absolutely gorgeous Christmas ornaments. She's given me 2 of them. And when I put those on my tree each year, I think of her, and she's doing very well. She started out going to flea markets. Then she went to the cultural arts fairs that were everywhere. And she's just really launched her business into a wholesale opportunity that just is such a good business venture for her. We also have, and where I'm located right now, he is amazing. He's a muralist, and he's now bidding on public art projects. So when you go to these towns and the cities and you see the murals on the walls, a lot of these people have worked with our SBDC, so we can assist you as well with that, if that's your area. And I'd like to reinforce that our Small Business Development Center, the Maryland SBDC, we're adaptable. We'll work with all creative disciplines and business sizes, from the solo entrepreneur to those with many employees to the different corporations. So from solo artists to the organizations, we can assist you. And as we move forward now, I'd like you to think of your own business situation and how our SBDC can help you as we plan for your appointment with your consultant and prepare to get you writing your business plan. Next slide, please, number 6. What I'm hoping that you walk away with today, some clear expectations that you'll leave with action steps for your creative business. I'd like to know that you know how to access a free consultant and get that consultation appointment set up, and you'll have a curated resource list for creative. So I say created, we put it together for you, and it is a curated resource list for you. And I'd also like to see that you gain the confidence that any business owner needs to know that working with us and that your business and creativity, I should say, can grow together. So if you look at that last bullet point on the slide, I want to emphasize today, it's about combining business strategy and your creative passion, because as you see there, business plus creativity equals the growth. Next slide, please. Some real world challenges that we can help you address include some pain points that you'll face in your business venture. There'll be an irregular income and seasonal sales cycle that you have to deal with, because you may not have that monthly inflow or that cash flow on a regular basis. Your pricing of art and your services fairly. We always get questions, how in the world do I price my product or my service? And do it fair. You know, we want you to compare yourselves to the competitors. We will get you to do some SWOT analysis on yourself and on your competitors. And that will help you see where you are in the pricing aspect, because you never want to underprice yourself or overprice yourself. We'd like to help you with building an online presence or an e-commerce site. We can help you do that. We can help you apply for grants and loans. We can turn your side hustles into sustainable ventures as well. And growing the revenue for your art nonprofits is pretty crucial in today's world. And I want to assure you that we do have practical step-by-step guidance for each of these issues. So let's take a look at how our SBDC is structured and how we can support the needs that you may have. Next slide, please. As I mentioned earlier, the SBDC came into effect in the year 1988. And since then, we've been expanding, as I said, across the nation. There are over 900 offices nationwide. And then you saw, as I spoke at the beginning, the different countries that we're into as well. So for 37 years, we've been serving our SBDC clients nationally. And the partnership, it's a public-private partnership among the SBA, which is federally funded, and our university system. And the local economic development agencies and offices are also included in with that partnership. And again, the accessibility we have to you is everywhere in the state and out of our state too, but I'm mostly mentioning Maryland today. So we can get you connected with a consultant as soon as possible. And I mentioned to you earlier about our 6 regions across the state. It's the Western corridor, which includes Baltimore City and Baltimore County, and the regions in the middle of our state. We have our Southern region, Eastern, and our Northern region. And again, we cover Baltimore City specifically too, which is not a county, but it is a city that's covered with our services. Next slide, please. I'd like to highlight a little bit here the breadth of our services. We have the workshops and the webinars, and we also do seminars, which are the ones in person, but we're finding that the webinars, our virtual training, since this is one thing we came out of COVID that has been very effective and so much more efficient, because I can reach someone with one of my trainings across the state, from Garrett County to the Eastern Shore to Charles County to Bel Air. We can reach everybody across the state, and you can get out of whatever it is you're doing for an hour and jump right back in when the training's concluded. You can jump right back in and you've not missed a beat. You don't have to worry about driving to a location. I'm in Western Maryland, and when I used to do my trainings in person, I would do most of them in the Frederick, Germantown, Columbia area, and Annapolis as well. And I would travel there every day. So I was lucky to do maybe 1 training in person, where now I can do at least 2 a day, and sometimes more than that we do, which keeps me stepping still, but I can still reach more people, and that's the goal. It's not how much we have to do, it's how many people that we can reach and that we can help. So those workshops and the trainings and seminars that we do, they're very important, and I'll be talking a little more about them, because that's actually my baby. My role with the SBDC is our statewide training program. So in addition to those that I just mentioned, we have that confidential one-on-one consulting, and it's our consultants across the state are awesome. They all have an area of expertise. They have all own businesses or currently own businesses, and they work together. We have a tech team, and this tech team right now is working with a lot of AI, and that's the push right now, and that's the relevant factor. What's AI doing? How can it help me? Our tech team works with everybody across the state. So the point I'm trying to make here is that if our consultants don't have an answer to a question you may have, they work together as a team to help you. So even though you're assigned to a consultant in your county, each of the consultants work with others across the state for your benefit. So again, I just want to stress that is all free to you at no cost, and it is confidential. I'd like you to take advantage of as many training sessions as you possibly can to strengthen your business skills. And I know a couple of you on this right now are in a program I'm doing, it's called the Business Startup Accelerators Program Series. And it is providing a sound basis. There are 10 sessions with 12 topics. One of the attendees said to me, "I'm overwhelmed." I said, "I know you are. I know this is a lot of information, but it does all fall into place." So what I want you to do is take as many of these trainings as you can, because at some point in your business venture, they definitely will come in handy, and it will strengthen your business skills, and you'll at least know where to go to get an answer. But the trainings, and we'll show you the training calendar too before we conclude today, but if you've not already been there. And I offer trainings that cover every area that you need as a business owner. And if you come up with something and you get in touch with me, we'll either create that program within our SBDC, that training, or I'll find an outside expert, a subject matter expert, to teach that training to us. And I have just a very vast array of trainings, very comprehensive list, but there are all kinds of legal issues, from setting up, creating a handbook, to what steps do I take for social media law, Every legal area is covered that you could think of. We have accounting, finance, taxes, which is crucial. You need to know about those, your income, the profit and loss statement, all the monthly statements that you get. Where do you go from there? How do you plan? What do you do with them? We have trainings on all kinds of marketing topics, on cybersecurity. We have all the different certifications, and I'll mention this in the next slide too. But the certification classes are all followed up with doing business with the federal government. Once you get this certification, how do you do business with the federal government? We have classes on AI, many trainings on AI. You can't run everything through AI, but some things you can. So it's not going to take the place of any skill that you need as a business owner to be successful. But there are ways that you'll learn that in any of the trainings that you take that will help you and make it a little bit easier. And probably the most important class that we offer, the training, is developing a business plan. Because if you go to your banker and you do not have some kind of a business plan, he or she's going to say, please go get a business plan, and you'll come and they'll send you back to the SBDC. But we'll help you create one that will dazzle that banker. So that is probably the most important document that you'll do for your business. And this might be a good time right now to mention Live Plan. And when I follow up today, I'll make sure that you have the link. It's a Maryland discount code. And we don't get anything out of this. This is just something that Live Plan, and it's LIVEPLAN. It's a resource tool that helps you write your business plan. And it's a subscription type service. If you've ever used TurboTax or heard of TurboTax, it's similar to that program where you enter all the information in and it helps you write your plan, or it helps you produce your tax statements, forms that you need to submit. So it helps you with that. And another good feature of this Live Plan is that you can name a collaborator. And normally that is your SBDC consultant. And he or she can then get online with you and work on this online, and you can get your business plan written. And it's not as though you're putting into the AI and saying, please write a business plan for me. You don't know your business unless you write a business plan. Just like one of our presenters in one of the tax and accounting classes, she says, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. Well, if you don't know that your business plan and have written it yourself, then you do not know your business. And it's crucial that you do. And another thing with that business plan is it's a live working document. You don't just write it once and put it on the shelf. You continually update it. It's your roadmap for where you're going. And if you've not planned, then the phrase is, if you haven't planned, you fail to plan. And we don't want to see anyone fail. We want you to know your business inside and out. And that doesn't mean that you're on this road to writing your business plan and making your business successful. It does not mean that you're not going to have to get off that beaten path and make some changes. You will, but then you get right back on that track and keep on moving. So that business plan is crucial, and it's something that we stress up front about doing. And again, at the end, I want to show you a document that I'll make sure you get today that will help you get started in writing this business plan. All right, slide number 10, please. The assistance for entrepreneurs and small businesses. I'd like to review with you some of our comprehensive offerings. And you can see on this chart that there are many, many things that we do. We're really a one-stop shop, as that headline there says. I'm sorry you can't see these pictures, but it just makes it a little more interesting to watch anyway. And that's for my creative community here today. I think you needed those pictures, but you'll see it when you get the presentation. But we provide the startup help that you need, that business planning that is so very, very important. We help you with your financial analysis or your financial projections. And that's what goes into that business plan. That's one of the things. And you think, oh my goodness, how can I project this for 3 years? And that's might be what the business plan calls for you to do. We can help you do that. So don't sweat that. Don't sweat that. It's time consuming to write a business plan. Absolutely. But it's not impossible. And with our help, because we've done this with so many people, you'll be successful. We offer marketing support, the networking, the strategic planning. I mentioned earlier about all the certification training that I have. I have at least 8 of those a year. Writing your capability statement, that's important. You need to have that, particularly if you're going to be doing any kind of procurement work or selling to the government. So we help with that assistance, and those certifications include 8A, Hub Zone, Women-Owned Small Business, the MBE, the Minority Business Enterprise, the DBE, which is the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, the SBE, the Small Business Enterprise, and there are others. All of those, we give you, we can help you to get those certifications, or at least determine when you're eligible to get those certifications. Some of them you can self-certify, some of them you can't. I do have a training coming up on SAM.gov. How in the world do I use that? How do I register in SAM? Well, that's coming up. So those are the kind of help that we give to you. And it's such a good resource for you that I just can't say often enough. Please take advantage of us. We offer training on contracting, importing, exporting, retail support and CEO growth support. And when I say CEO, that is more of an executive training and networking experience. And we have one individual in our state who that's solely what he does, is works on the CEO training and with those individuals in that realm of the business venture. So as you can see from this slide, if you looked over those points, it truly is a one-stop resource for our Maryland business owners. And I want you to know that whether you're pricing art or applying for funding, or you're a jewelry maker and designer, a filmmaker, or arts nonprofits, these tools are for you. The same business principles apply. So in that respect, you're a business owner, and you're as a business owner, and that is where I'm hoping you start to see the alignment with your own business creative needs and what the SBDC can help and how we can help you. Slide 11, please. Thank you. What I want to address here, that we work, when I say we, the Small Business Development Center, our Maryland SBDC, works collaboratively with the entities that you see listed here, whether it's the SBA, the Small Business Administration, the Internal Revenue, economic development offices, banks, chambers of commerce. We all work with each other. And the Main Street groups, or the Main Street partnerships that you see listed there, and the community organizations, they're the ones that they may have special grants that you can access. And each county, each city is different, but your county consultant will know what grants are available. And I know everyone's always looking for a grant. I will say, and I'll tell you up front, that they're few and far between, but there are some of them out there, and we want you to be able to take advantage of those. But all of these listed on this slide, all these bullets that you see, I'd like to point out that these partnerships create a strong ecosystem of support for small businesses and arts organizations. And this network of partners that you see here, they serve to strengthen our SBDC. So we can connect you with the right people and the right programs. Next slide, please, 12. Our role, our SBDC's role is a 3M. So 3M. The first M is money. And the money, we can help you as our client gain access to capital. A lot of trainings on that as well. In fact, this morning's class with the Business Startup Accelerator series was funding options for your business. So we can help you with those essential loans that you might need and grants. And we even know of some that are from that you can get through angel funding or venture funding, the venture capitalists or the angel funding. And these angel investors have groups around the state. I don't know if you're aware of them or if there's one particularly in your county, but I know of one that that I'm very much aware of because I've attended some of their meetings in the Frederick area. And what they do, it's just like Shark Tank. You go and you get in front of this group, and they usually had a dinner, and they meet regularly, and you present your business, your pitch for your business, and then as the attendees in that audience, if they want to, I see a heart going up on the screen there. Thank you. They will help you by investing some of their own money into your business. Now, keep in mind, and if you've ever seen Shark Tank, there's something they want out of that. Whether it's a piece of your company, a partnership of some sort, or they want some kind of payment. But that is an additional funding support for you. So that's something that you want to think about as you progress too. Next slide, please. Management, our second M. This is where we offer strategic planning, where your business plans, and again, so important that you have that business plan, even if it's just for your own personal keeping on track, keeping aligned with where you're headed, just for you. But the management part of the growth strategies, we can certainly help you with that as well. The next slide, please. Our third M is the marketing. This is probably the most requested topic, other than how do I get money? How do I get funding for my business? Requested topic for training. But with our marketing, we can help you with your market research, which is crucial for you to do. If you remember at the beginning, I mentioned about the SWOT analysis. Those we suggest you do on yourself and on your competitors. Maybe even up to 20 competitors. It could be across the state, across the country, but you want to do that market research. But we can help you with that, and I'll show you some things that you can do and you can find on our website to help you with that market research. Brand development, that's crucial. You need to find yourself your unique value proposition, your unique selling proposition, what makes you stand out from your competitor. You want to always be thinking, well, why do I want people to come to me? How can I make that different than them going to my competitor? So that brand development is crucial. We'll help you with networking. I'm right now working on trying to do a virtual networking get together, which it may be with businesses of your nature, what you're in the business of doing, or it may be just a general networking event. But you can also go to those with the where there are a lot of networking opportunities is with your community organizations, such as that Chamber of Commerce. And you don't have to join the Chamber of Commerce, although they would encourage it, because the fees are a bit high. But you can go to their networking events. You might have to pay a little bit more to go to that event, but it's worth it. So, take your business cards, go. I know some of our consultants would say to you, don't just blanket hand out business cards, but that's not always a bad idea. But it's a good idea too to concentrate maybe on 5 people that you meet at each networking event. And when you get their card, as soon as you finish chatting with them, make some notes on the back of that card their card that they've given you, because that way, when you follow up with them in a few months or a few weeks even, you can make it more personal. Maybe you talked with that individual about their family and their child's in 3rd grade. And you could say, how's Summer doing in her 3rd grade year this year? How's she doing? She's doing pretty well. And that makes a big impact. Then you can go on and talk about exactly business issues that you may have. So that networking is pretty important. The government contracting opportunities, we can help you with that. you've got to be on your toes with that. And you have to be constantly looking at the sites where you can find these contracting opportunities. But again, after all those certification trainings that you've been through and how to actually do business with the federal government or the state government, you'll know exactly where to look and what to do. An example of this, of a success story, we have a photographer that we've worked with for a few years, and he used our management marketing services to turn his part-time work, which was his side hustle, into a full-time career. So wherever you are in your creativity business journey, funding, planning, or growth, any of those stages, the SBDC is certainly here to guide you. And next slide, please. I want you to think of your SBDC as your all-in-one support system, your Swiss Army knife. And I know you've heard of the Swiss Army knife. We're versatile. The versatility that we have and what we can share, whatever your business needs, whether it's funding, management, marketing, cybersecurity assistance, SBDC has a tool for it. And I'd like to recap the core benefits of our SBDC for you, the free consulting, the training, and the comprehensive support. We will stay with you from day one for as long as you want us, if it's for the rest of your business life. And we can only stay till you get your business plan if that's what you choose to complete with us. But it's up to you. But we want you to know that you do not have to do it alone. We are your business toolkit, and we are here to help you in every step of your business venture. And if you look at that list on this slide, you see that cash out. That's even something that you start planning at the beginning, when you, not that you're going to cash out, but it's, you might want to provide legacy planning or succession planning for your business. And you know, when you do your business plan, it's always a good idea to include this in it. You don't have to go into great depth about how you're going to do it, but have that plan in mind, that when you leave, there is a succession plan in place. Because when you're looking for a loan, the lender wants to know that that business plan is complete and that you have planned for the future. You have planned for your succession planning, whether it's legacy planning for your family or just how you intend to cash out. Next slide, please. I want to leave you with some actionable items, actionable steps, your CTA, your call to action. And today, I think we'll have time to visit our website, and it's the www that you see there. And when you get this presentation, you can click on it because that link is live. And it's Maryland, spelled out, sbdc.org. And here you can see a little bit, and I'll show you just briefly before we end, of what you can do, what you can see. You can set up an appointment with a consultant. I can connect you also with the consultant if you'd like me to do that. You just have to email me and tell me what county you're in, and we can get that action step taken too. But on our calendar, you can view our training. I mean, on our website, I'm sorry, I misspoke there. On our website, you can see our training calendar. And I'm usually 1 month ahead. I try to get further ahead than that, but usually I'm only 1 month ahead. And I have almost finished November definitely finished, and I have December almost finished as well. So that's something that I'd like you to at least take a look at and say, gee, you know, this training might help me, or I think that training will help me. And no matter what, if you attend, and most of them are around 1 hour, if you walk away with one golden nugget, just one nugget, it's been well worth your time. And I can guarantee you, I have exceptional training presenters. They are just outstanding in their field, and they are, I mean, they do this out of the goodness of their heart as well. And they're just, you can always reach out to them and connect with them. And another thing about that is, you know, we suggest that when you start with the SBDC, that you create a management team that includes your accountant, your attorney, your business banker, your insurance person, and lastly, your SBDC consultants. So not that you need to use them all up front, but it's good to have that team, that management team in place for when you do need them. because you will eventually need them. And it's usually cheaper to have them in place up front versus down the road when you actually need them. But that's something that you can talk with your consultant when you meet with him or her and get that plan in action. I want you to take one of these steps, if you can, to whether it's registering for a training or reaching out for a consulting appointment. I think this will get you focused on that business plan and what you need to do and who you need to see and what skills you actually need to get moving forward with this to help not only your creative business, but the creative community. So I want to keep in mind, please, that small actions do build big growth, and it's the first step toward growing your creative venture. Next slide, please. Okay, this is the time for your questions. If you have any for me, I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have. And if I don't know an answer, I'll find it out. And our consultants are good with getting back to me right away, and I'll get an answer for you. But I thank you for your time and your interest in growing Maryland's creative economy. And I'm just thrilled you're here today. Thank you. And let's keep in touch. And I hope to see you at upcoming trainings because I'll be watching for you. I see everybody that comes in, and I may not know the faces, but I certainly know the names. So if we could go to the next slide, please. This is my contact information. Please feel free to follow up with me. And we're going to show you here in just a minute. And Chad's been a delight with sharing all this information today since I was not able to bring this all up. So I appreciate that, Chad. But I want to close before we share a few other things with, together, we can grow Maryland's creative economy. And it's one business at a time, and you're that person. So thank you so much for being here. And I appreciate all the emojis going up. Oh, they're sweet. Thank you so much for that. Chad, if you would take us to our website, I'll show you, I'll walk you through a couple things that will help you, hopefully, when you're accessing our services. Okay. Can you go back to just the website page? But wait a minute, while you're here, okay. All right. Bless your heart. Okay. All right. If you scroll down just a bit, this is the October calendar. And as you can see, this is what I have the rest of the month, which we're in the last week. So could we go down to the next month? And you can see what's on there for November. Okay. It's not scroll down. Okay. You just have to maybe go over one. I'm trying to see where. Go. Yes. Yes. There you go. There you can see what I have for November. Now, just because there's a day blank, that does not mean there's not a training on it. It might be a series. So the series, every single session is not listed, but you can see that everything is on the calendar. And there are many a day that there's surely one or two that would help you. And I have the same, not every month, but some of my presenters come back monthly for me. When you see them there monthly, I get a huge turnout. They're good. They're good. You'll walk away, as I said, always with some kind of a nugget that will help you. You can see this one that's upcoming on November 5th. It's the first one of the month for November, turning ideas into impact for the business owner. So this is a new no, she's been with me before, but this is a new presentation. And I will say, if you've been on one of my trainings in the past and you see it's offered a second time, it's updated. I can guarantee it's updated. My presenters are updating them 10 minutes before we start. And I'm a nervous wreck when I don't have that presentation yet. But I know it's going to be top notch. So please join when you can. Chad, if you'd go back to the website, I'd appreciate that. The homepage. Okay, this is where I wanted to show you about our market research. So I'm trying to move my mouse. If you go to consulting at the top, click on that drop-down box. Now go down to the very bottom where it says business research platforms. No, keep going, go back up. Yeah, business there. Now, if you look at these are any kind of resource. Market research is extremely important. So these platforms that are listed here are ones that you can access, or you can access them and get more help through our consultant. But as you can see, the Maryland Business Express, and I highly recommend any of you, to please go there and check it out. It's a one-stop shop too. You can set up tax accounts. You can see what insurance you need for your business. Permits, let me tell you, if you need any kind of a permit to go do something, the best place to go do that is at your health department or the clerk of the court. The clerk of the court's where I would go first, at your local courthouse. And he or she can then guide you as to what you would need if you're going to set up something for a one-day event or for your creative type business. So that those kind of places you have access to, utilize those, because they can certainly guide you. But what you see here, we have the SBDC net, we have Data Axle, and that is a research program where you can get into this database and find out exactly who's in a certain mile radius around you that you might want to reach with your business venture. You want to reach this community, you want to get the word out to them, you can find out everything you need to find out about that community. And you can also get the names, databases, because it's public information. Could you scroll down a little bit more, please, Chad, for me? The Census Bureau. Okay, that's a good site for market research. It's a bit difficult to navigate, although they've improved it a lot over the years. And when I say recently, within the last year, I think it is, they've made it a little bit easier to navigate, but we can help you with that as well. And you can see the Department of Commerce has some information to share there as well. Let's scroll a little bit more, please.
Excuse me, we have about 5 minutes left, and I just wanted to make sure that I got my question answered. Plus, there are a few other questions in the chat, in case you weren't aware.
Okay, thank you. I'll just finish sharing this, and then if we cut it off, then we'll make sure your questions are answered. Chad, sure. Can we run over or not?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
And I'd like to stop recording before we get into questions.
Okay.
So if we would leave 3 to 4 minutes maybe for questions, that'd be great.
Okay, thank you. The one thing I want to point out here is the vertical IQ. Your consultant can get your reports for you for everything that I've just mentioned. So that's an important topic that you want to talk about to your consultant. All right, Chad, if you don't mind, if you would go to the Lean Business Plan. This is something that I'll send to you. Just email me and I will send it to you, because this is a good start to writing your business plan. It's a tool. It also has come from Live Plan, but it's a tool to help you organize your thoughts and get them on paper. The first page of this is filled in to give you an example to go by. For example, I won't go through the whole thing because you'll be able to read this. If you want it, email me. I'll send it to you. I'll include it in the follow-up today, so you don't have to email me unless you have questions. But it's where you put what makes you different, your USP, your unique selling proposition, your unique value proposition. And the entire one-page document will be at a glance your business plan. It doesn't go into depth, but it gets your ideas organized and you can get it on paper. So I will include this. You have a sample, and then the bottom part of this is a blank template for you to write your own in. And this is what you need to take with you when you go to talk to your consultant at first to get the ball rolling for you. So with that being said, let's go to the questions. Chad, do you want to read them to me, or?
Yeah, thank you so much, Diane. I'm going to
Certainly.
stop recording now and share gratitude for what you've offered.